Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Good Games Done Bad. I am RJ Tosh, your RJ host. Presented by Chai Tea, not the kind of tea you drink, but the kind of tea that's probably asleep right now. A1, let the boys play while the wives are away. He's the only one married in this chat. I don't know who I'm kidding. Welcome in, everybody. We've got a special guest tonight, Chaos 21. Yikes. Thank you. All right, so tonight, we don't normally stream. Am I running from something? No, I'm not running from the Valkyries. I don't stream on Wednesdays, Rampage. I'll fight them. So, in honor of Pokemon Day, which is tomorrow, the 28th birthday of Pokemon in Japan, we decided... Talk now.
Words, things,
there you
stuff.
Go. There you go.
All right. Okay.
All right. So, in honor of Pokemon Day...
I'll draw my intro later.
In honor of Pokemon Day, right, we are going to do a tier list for the worst generation of Pokemon. Talk now, said RJ calmly. Hell yeah, playing Pokemon Y and Omega Ruby Rampage. Let's go.
Sick.
Underrated Generation 6.
Yeah, no, I really... X and Y is what got me back into Pokemon. I had a very, I did not like the games, and then I played Gen 6, and I'm like, wow, this is really fun.
RJ, I don't know why FBI wasn't working, buddy. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off there, Chaos. I don't know why. He redeemed some points. It wasn't working.
No, it's all right.
I'll fix that.
But
somebody redeemed that man his points back.
But no, I'm excited for this tier list. I have some opinions about Gen 5. I've seen some designs over the years. There's some good, there's some real bad, and then there's something kind of in the middle.
Just put Hoenn at number 1 and Sword at Shield last. All right, we got some words later, Rampage, but that's not quite what we're doing. What we're doing is we're rating.
If we wanna tier list the games, that's a different discussion, and
that'll be a different one. What up, Bubblegut?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could discuss about that.
Hello, Kobe. Thanks for the lurk. We wouldn't have that Fear It Walks on without Gen 5. It's true. It's true.
Fair.
So,
really, the thing I could be really proud or get heated about is if we talk the animes, because I love the Pokemon anime, and I got some opinions about some of those seasons. Advanced Generation fucking sucks.
So I'm certain this is going to be a long stream. Not only because we're going to talk about each one of these fucking Pokemon from start to finish, but we're going to need to go into discussion on why we hate them or like them or something, right? So
yes,
the rules is our opinion. Obviously, I feel like we need to state that. I'm sure Chaos and I will have conflicting opinions. So
absolutely.
You guys will probably hear us. Rule number 2, we're going to base these Pokemon based on everything, right? Like, are they good competitive? Are they fugly? Do I just not vibe with them? Right?
For me, a lot of it's going to come down to art style, and if I just think the Pokemon is cool, like, there's a couple on here that I think aren't necessarily, that I don't know if are super competitive, but they look cool, so they kind of rank pretty high for me.
See, Dragon Ball, there you go. Gen 8, not bad. Gen 8, not bad.
Gen 8's fine. Like, the only problem I have with Gen 8 is I think the game was just poorly designed and just buggy, but I wouldn't call it bad.
Rampage, it's going to be great once Pyro gets here, because Pyro hates Gen 3.
I'm also I'm a sort of Gen 3 hater, yet 2 of my favorite Pokemon are from Gen 3. The curse is real.
We're going to go ahead and say it right now, Gen 4 supremacy. But we're getting off subject.
Gen 2. Gen 2 supremacy.
That's understandable. How's the music compared to our voices? Because I know I got my normal music that I shiny hunt with going, so I'm vibing. But how's the music compared to everybody? Hop does yap too fucking much, Dragon Ball. If Gen 8 had skippable cutscenes more than the cutscenes that they already have skippable, it'd be great. It'd be great if you could just skip it.
Hop does talk a little too much, but Hop is a pretty cool rival. And the fact that he's not really... No, wait, no, that's Sun and Moon, that he's not really... Hao's not really the rival. You're the rival.
That's true. Because you don't have to...
Which was such an awesome idea.
Like, fun fact, you don't have to beat Hao in, like, any of the fights except the last one. You can lose every fight with Hao in Gen 7, and the story progresses.
Yeah, I know. That's what I find so interesting about that. Like, the way it's designed, Sun and Moon is very interesting. It's also got cool character designs, too.
Play the Sun and Moon or the Diamond and Pearl? I don't know. I'm using a non-DMC Pokemon music.
The only problem with Sun and Moon is that Rainbow Rocket kind of sucks.
I could play this fucking banger for you, Rampage.
I was gonna say, which Diamond and Pearl song? I mean, you could play like Cynthia's theme, but that's probably copywritten to hell.
They remix these things. So this is Melee City from Sun and Moon, the third island. And like, I'll play this thing a couple of times on my streams. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger theme. Ugh. All right.
Let me. Okay.
What are they going to do against my full power Necrozma? Fucking nothing. All right. I forgot to say rule number 3. While I do feel like Generation 5 is the worst generation of Pokemon, I still count it as a 9 out of 10. Still a great game. It's just not as great.
Which generation?
5, the one we're doing.
Yeah, that's...
Black 2, White 2.
It's valid.
Black 2, White 2, top 3 Pokemon games. What about Rule 34? Ooh, ugh,
That's a whole different argument.
That's a different tier list.
Plus, also, the queen of that discussion's Gen 4, and that's Cynthia.
That's naughty nighttime streams.
Yeah, that is late hours.
What's Gen 5 though? What do you mean? What's Gen 5 though? Pokemon Black and White, dog. Your favorite gen.
I was gonna say, what's Gen 5 though? That's a good question.
Pokemon Black and White, and the only time Pokemon's ever done a direct sequel, Pokemon Black 2, White 2. I say a direct sequel because technically Generation 4 is a sequel of Gen 2 and Generation 3 is a sequel of Gen 1. Won't get into that. And Black 2, White 2, which is my third favorite game.
It's a good one. I haven't played it, but a lot of people say it's considered the best Pokemon game.
You got a villain that tries to kill you, dog. Like, it's great. He's like, yo, fire the cannons on this 10-year-old. I ain't dealing with this shit again.
Like, what? If we're gonna argue like best Pokemon games, like individual, it's like what? Heart Gold, Soul Silver,
obviously.
Platinum, Black 2, White 2. Like,
can't fucking exclude them in your rating of the best game. We're gonna end up changing this into a rating of the Pokemon games if we don't get started with this.
Yeah, I know. We need to get started. Let's get started.
America, Gen 5.
Yep, USA.
All right, so we got 7 different tiers. We've got God tier. These are the best Pokemon in this generation. We've got almost perfect. Got a couple of flaws. We got pretty good. They're chill. We got average. We got below average. We got some Pokemon that just exist. And then we've got absolute Garbo. And, spoiler alert, the garbage Pokemon, not Garbo. Not Garbo.
I can agree with that. With that.
I'll explain why once we get there, but that's your one. That's your one spoiler.
Yeah.
All right.
I think probably one other spoiler, but, if you know anything about Pokemon, there's a particular Pokemon that's in Gen 5 that is absolutely Garbo.
I understand what you're coming from. A delicious little snack indeed.
Yeah. Yes. Yep, it is. It's a terrible, terrible piece of ice cream, but we'll get there.
All right. So for the first time and only time in Pokemon history, the Pokedex starts with a mythical, Victini. Opinions.
I think Victini, design-wise, is kind of interesting. Like it's a flying squirrel. It's another flying squirrel in a sea of flying squirrels. but I like the V shape. It's not a bad design.
I like the V for victory, which fits his personality, right? Also, he's dope because it's like Gen 5 is one of the last generations where you get the event and you get to go do something to get the Pokemon. Like, you have to go to a different island just to get Victini. And then you can get a special Victini later on that has the signature moves of Zekrom and Reshiram.
See, that's pretty cool. I also think, looking at it, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't watch it, but I've heard the movie is fairly okay, and that's always a positive.
I did enjoy the movie, and they did a Pokemon version of the movie where there were two different movies, same concept, but things were swapped over depending on the story. So if one, it was based around Reshiram, the other one was based around Zekrom, and then like some trainers' Pokemons were swapped around. So like the main trainer that helped out Ash had a Hydreigon in one of them, but in the other one they used the other trainer that had a Golurk.
Oh, cool.
And they were both shiny versions.
Even though it's a legendary, its move pool isn't that bad. It's pretty good. You know.
I would argue pretty good.
Yeah, I would put him in the pretty good tier. I think that's a really good base where we start. Where Victini is, I think, the base of where all Pokemon should be considered.
Yeah, imagine stealing the signature moves of the box legendaries. Exactly. Concept of victory. He's the last of the little guys, you know? Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Fion, Manaphy, Victini. He's the last of the little guys. I don't count Hoopa as a little guy.
I don't even remember Hoopa. I feel like that says it all about that Pokemon.
That's fair. All right. So now we're going on into the starters. Snivy.
Okay. Snivy. Snivy's average.
You think so? Now, hold on. Let me argue this. I've got 3 different scenarios.
Okay.
I pick the fire type in every Pokemon game that I play. Gen 5 was the first one I picked Snivy.
I am of the Pokemon games that I've played, which are Heart Gold, Soul Silver, X and Y, and yeah, those are it actually. Or in the original. I usually pick the fire type. I think Snivy is just okay. I will say Snivy is also catching strays from being a victim of Gen 5 anime writing and the fact that he beat Ash's Pikachu.
And that's where I'm going with why he should land in at least average.
Yeah, he is an average tier.
He clapped Pikachu after Pikachu tied with a Latios with Tobias.
Yep. That's why I really just
do
not like that season. Like, so many bad things about that season. It doesn't even. He's not the worst. Snivy is not the worst thing about Gen 5's anime. That's Cilia. But Snivy beating Pikachu is really up there.
I would be straight up yapping about each Pokemon. Don't worry, Dragon Ball.
We're all doing that.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going. Okay. What the next one is?
Servine. There's going to be a couple. There's going to be a couple that I'm not going to talk about as much.
Servine is, I think, also in the average tier.
Do you? I feel like Servine just exists. Like, I feel like he's here. I mean, look at those dainty little ass legs. Look at those little hands. He's
you know what? I can
unevolving.
I can give you they exist.
He just, most of the middle evolutions for starters aren't that great.
I don't disagree with you. That's a big problem with just Pokemon in general. Outside of, there's only one middle evolution. Well, 2. And they're both in Gen 2, actually, that I will remember.
Service can be punted easily.
And that's Quilava, because Fire Ferret is adorable. And
true.
Bayleaf, because of also the anime.
Bayleaf's pretty good.
But like, and then let's see, and then lastly,
are
we done with Servine?
Because Servine, like, I know all the Pokemon, right? Like, big Pokemon fan. Even sometimes I look at Servine and I'm like, dog, who's that?
Yeah.
Servine can be punted easily. Got you. That's what you meant, not service. Okay.
Servine can, in fact, be punted into space.
Now, I am going to argue that superior, almost perfect. I think the design is. I think the design is absolutely fantastic for what they're going for. A regal snake. I think his contrary hidden ability is goated. It basically takes stat changes and reverses it, and he's got a move called Leaf Storm that lowers his special attack, which by contrary raises his special attack. So he attacks and gets stronger each time. Now his stats could do a little bit better, which is what's keeping him out of God tier. Also his move coverage sucks, also keeping him out of God tier. But design-wise, anime-wise, and ability-wise,
yeah,
almost perfect.
Looks really cool. Kind of a very cool design. I
Almost
very
perfect.
much like it.
All right.
I think, yeah. Now
The most
Tepig.
hated starters in Pokemon, I feel like sometimes. Unjustly.
This is Tepig, right?
Yes, Tepig. The tepid pig.
Tepig. Okay. This is. I don't want to spoil for like what I think about all the fire types in this one. Dude, he exists. He just exists.
You think so? I think he's so adorable.
He exists.
See, I agree, Dragon Ball. I fucking love that little pig.
I think there are fire types, and maybe it's unfair to compare him to other fire types, but I think there are fire types before him that are cooler, and there are fire types after that are significantly cooler than him.
Like do I think
the
Chimchar?
generation later has the next generation has a better fire type.
You're still on watch for thinking that Pokemon is a good fire type. Like that's.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I like the cute fox that turns into a cool mage. I'm a sucker for magic.
We're treading furry territory with that one.
I know.
We're on a watch list for that one. All right, so let's meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's meet in the middle. I think he's pretty good. You think he exists.
Yeah, I think he is. He's not quite garbage.
So,
Yeah.
average?
I'll give you below average.
I'll take below average.
I'll give you below average.
Anime Tepig is great. He had flame charge. He got really fast.
That is true.
He was a speedy boy.
I'll give you average. I'll give you average.
There we go. Awesome.
You have convinced me for average because I think he is better in the anime. I think a lot of these things will be saved by their anime versions.
Some of them, yes. Some of them, no.
Some of them very no.
All right, Pig Knight. That was good enough. I don't think he's garbage because I really do enjoy his design. He looks like a little I was about to say a little high school wrestler, but a little like Olympic wrestler, right? Like we're going for the fighting theme. He's really good in game. Really good in game. But just compared to just compared to overall middle evolutions, like he's just there, man.
Like everything middle evolution, it's just
sumo wrestler. Like I literally speed run getting to Embor when I play Black and White. You literally got a speed run to get there. Okay. The most.
So then Embor is the last.
Overhated, I feel like. I think he's pretty good.
Answer me a question.
Yes.
What's Embor's typing?
Firefighting.
He is firefighter, so he's not pure fire.
No, he's firefighting.
So he is the third fire and fighting type? I'm going to say something really controversial. He's garbage because he's the third firefighting type.
See, and I don't know if it's controversial because that's everybody's opinions, but look at it from this point of view. All three firefighting Pokemon do something differently. Blaziken, speed boost, high hitting attacks, right?
You're going to hear something really controversial in a second. Just get ready.
Blaziken, speed boost, high hitting physical attacks. Infernape, mixed special attacker, right? Like he's got the same attack stat, the same speed stat, the same special attack stat. Infernape can do whatever he wants him to do. Embor, reckless, his hidden ability. Basically doubles the power of damage dealing moves. Or Rockhead. It's one of them, basically. You teach him a bunch of reckless ass attacks, and he breaks through so many walls. Like this Pokemon is so strong if you have his hidden ability. Is he slow? Fuck yes. but they all three do different things. So I don't think it's fair to compare the firefighting types, because we wouldn't compare the flying dragon, right? We wouldn't say Salamence and Dragonite are the same thing.
Yeah, but Dragonite has the cute dopey face.
True. We wouldn't say Flygon and Garchomp are the same thing.
Yes, but Garchomp is also the shark missile.
That's true. But Flygon is also good.
You're not wrong. So I will give you that he is below average. I'll give you below average. But I'm going to say something really controversial. And people are going to be like, you're crazy, Chaos. What's wrong with you? I hate Blaziken. And I'm just waiting for the response.
If I had a webcam, you guys would have seen the face I made right now.
I can bet. So I have a very specific reason for why I don't like Blaziken. Let me actually look at chat.
He's a fucking kung fu chicken.
It's a dumb kid reason. I hate Blaziken for a very specific reason.
Yeah, go on, need some explanation, buddy. I agree.
I was a die-hard Pokemon anime watcher. I watched Pokemon the anime weekly when it was airing. When they got to the Master or the Johto League Championships, and when Harrison showed up with a Blaziken, I was so mad because he beat Harrison. Because Harrison beat him with Blaziken. I'm like, you have some BS Pokemon that no one's ever heard of. You're a cheater. And I've always hated Blaziken since then. Also, Blaziken over exposure is real. But it's dumb kid reasons.
Competitively I agree with you. He wasn't that great before Gen 5. Once he got Speed Boost, he was great. But design-wise, he's so good.
He's pretty cool. Like, I will say, both Emboar and Blaziken have cool designs. That's why I will concede below average. But I will recognize that it's my dumb kid brain, when I was a kid, hating Blaziken. Also, I think Infernape's kind of mid.
Okay, all right, we're moving on. Before I have an aneurysm.
Dude, it's like the third fight. It's like the second fire in fighting.
See, Son Goku!
I know, but I don't care about Son Goku.
Okay. We're moving on. Oshawott.
We're taking it too far.
We're moving on.
Oshawott.
I'm going to say something controversial now. He sucks.
Okay.
Below average. Hate that little guy.
I actually kind of agree with you.
Hate that little guy.
As someone who did watch a lot of the black and white anime, I do not care for Oshawott. He was he was
Let me in the ring after that Infernape slander. We'll get our chance, Dragon Ball. We'll get our chance. That's my favorite Pokemon of all time. When we do the Gen 4 one, we'll have our chance.
Oh, I'm down for Gen 4. I got some opinions on Gen 4 too. I would put him in the exist tier, Oshawott. In fact, I think all of them just exist. I have no attachment to any of them.
I'll give him below average.
I can concede that point.
I'll give him below average. I don't know if you can continue this further. Look, he's an otter. Sure, I'm willing to get out of bed and start a heated argument right now. I think Oshawott is the worst of the water starters. After Popplio. I think Popplio is probably the worst one. But Oshawott, I don't know, he falls short on design for me. He's cute. Don't get me wrong. He's cute. He's got a little razor shell. I think the razor shell is nice, right?
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, he's just there.
Yeah, he's just there.
How is Popplio a bad starter? Have you seen it? Have you seen Popplio? Now, the only reason Popplio is going to rank higher on the list is because of its stats and its typing when it evolves.
I will say, isn't Popplio like super meta? Wasn't he?
It's really good. It's really good in the speed runs for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't choose the Hawlucha strat, Popplio is your go-to starter. But that's Gen 7.
Yeah, if I remember, the worst one was the Owl.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of meta, which I found funny because he had the second coolest design. The best one is Incineroar because Pokemon and wrestling are both anime.
All right.
just facts.
Do what? I'm going to argue that Do What is average.
Let me look him up. Let me look him up so I have an idea. What'd you say? His name is
DEWOTT. Incineroar is heavily used in VGC. If we do not get a Wolf Glick Incineroar distribution, I swear.
He is. I actually kind of like Duwat's design. He makes Oshawott look cooler. You start seeing the samurai theme starting to really kind of show.
So it's the same thing I feel like with the other starters, or the opposite, sorry. With Snivy, I'm speed running Servine to get to Superior. With Tepig, I'm speed running Pignite to get to Emboar. With Oshawott, I'm speed running him to get to Duwat.
Yeah.
So I think his design works really well. I think he looks more ottery than Oshawott. And the fact that he's got those two scalps like on his thighs that he could pull them out. Right?
Yeah, those look really cool.
So I would argue he's average. I like him.
I would agree with you. I think he's average.
Now Samurott.
Samurott looks cool.
I
like Samurot's design.
I think Samurott's pretty good. I do like his design.
I think he's pretty good.
It wasn't until he was in 3D that I actually saw that he could pull his swords out of his arm. Like, he's got swords on his arm sheaths, and they come out. So that's fucking dope. That's pretty dope. I even really dig Hisuian Samurott, the water dark type.
Hisuian Samurott looks even cooler.
Than sorry. Dragon Ball is correcting me. They are not scallops, they're scalchops. I do apologize. I do apologize, Dragon Ball. I'm remembering that piece of information now. That's how little I cared about Oshawott.
Yeah, I mean...
Scalchops.
Yeah, I think... Scalchops, I think Oshawott... Or sorry, not Oshawott. I think Samurott kind of brings it all together. He takes what kind of is a mid-design at the start. It's a different gen, yes. We are technically including Hisuian. But I just want to say for posterity's sake, Hisuian looks really cool.
It's the same Pokemon.
But I do like the original Samurott as well. I think they both look very good. And take what's kind of a lame starter, and by the end, gets pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's the same Pokemon. He grew up somewhere else. He's the same guy. He's just a little more evil. He doesn't care about our feelings as much.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's the next one?
Next one, Patrat. A Pokemon that is, as of now, unavailable in any Switch games.
Yeah.
First of many for some of these Gen 5s, actually.
Patrat. So I ran into the evolution a lot in Gen 6, if I remember. It was either Gen 6 or Omega. It's a weird looking Pokemon. Oh man, I do not like it. It's unsettling. Both it and its evolution are just unsettling to me.
Okay, we got an argument. We got an argument for Watchhog here in a minute, but Patrat, as far as Route 1 rodents go, he exists.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He exists. Even
the Pokemon Company might realize he exists because they've yet to put him in a Switch game.
Yeah, they've put its evolution in, I think, in games before for mainline, which is kind of sad.
Now, Watchhog, I'm going to argue from a more biased point of view.
Yeah.
Just because vibing, right? We're judging him on everything. He's one of my shiny hunters in Gen 6 because of his Illuminate ability.
I see.
I found a lot of shinies with Watchhog. So to me, seeing him show up dressed as a crossing guard, helping guide the way to my shiny Pokemon, I've got a tingle in my heart for him. Right? But I will agree that he's probably below average in terms of Pokemon design and definitely not great in terms of stats.
It can learn Thunder Wave, Hypnosis, and Super Fang. That's pretty good.
It's a really good shiny hunter.
All right. I would give that at least average, maybe below average, if I'm being kind of mean to it. But I will concede average.
Concede average. Good
I would
place in our
concede
heart.
average.
Good shiny hunter. Watch Hawk
Yeah.
can go fuck itself after the normal gen. Okay. I will agree with you there. You unlocked a core memory. My first ever, what's that thing called? Nuzlocke. My first ever Nuzlocke was in Generation 5.
Okay.
And I got to the Watchhog, and that Watchhog critted my Pig Knight and made me lose the Nuzlocke. And ever since then, I've been fucking terrified of that second gen.
Yeah, that would make sense.
All right,
okay,
you lost
then-
points, Watchhog. Lenore, Lenore and that fucking Watchhog. You lost points. You're below average now.
Yeah, it's below average. What's the next one?
Lillipup.
Lillipup. So another dog Pokemon.
Yes. Now,
Look it up. So it's cute, but there's like a lot of cute Pokemon.
you feel like he should gain a point for that? Gain a point for traumatizing my soul one? And he could be worse. He could be down there with his son. I'm going to argue that Lillipup, pretty good.
Okay, let me hear your argument.
He's, first off, adorable, right? Secondly,
It's cute.
he is a hidden fighter in the Gen 5 games. Super strong. Get that ability, Sand Rush, is more for his evolution, right? But Lillipup, really, really good starting option as a normal type Pokemon. Hits really hard, learns really good normal type moves early on. Surprisingly underrated when it comes to playthroughs of Black and White. Lillipup is actually a meta for speedrunning the game, according to Dragon Ball. See?
I'll give you pretty good. I'll give you pretty good.
Ba-boom. Now, Hertier's going to lose a few points for me. I don't like his face.
Oh, I actually like Hertier's design and him.
Intimidate is
looking
really
like I like him looking like an old man. Like
I was about to
just
say,
enough
he looks like my
curmudgeon-y
grandpa.
old man.
He looks like my grandpa.
And being grandpa is kind of cool. Like, I'm fine with it.
You want to meet in the middle and go grandpa dog average?
Yeah, I can go average. I actually can go average.
All right, grandpa
Look at
dog.
he
And
looks
he's got his little...
British. Put him in Garbo. That's why. That's why he's an average, because he's British.
Oh, boy. He's got his
now
little...
the fight.
He's got his little
Stoutland.
jacket on. Now, okay. Okay,
I hate
Stoutland.
Stoutland's design. I hate Stoutland's design.
Ooh, he is so good.
Too old.
Almost perfect for me.
I can. Where would you want? Almost perfect.
Almost
Dude, I don't know
perfect.
about that.
His design is really good. The animation for his as a ride Pokemon in Generation 7. His competitiveness with both Sand Rush and Intimidate. Underrated.
I will concede pretty good. He is not superior level of almost perfect.
I think he's so good.
Stoutland looks like how you guys portray your age. Why do you want to hurt me?
He got a point, though. That thing can
You're
hit like a
right.
truck.
You're right, but why do you want to hurt me? Stop it.
So good. All right.
This one. What is this? This is Caddy? No,
Purloin.
Purloin. Purloin. I think
It exists for me. It exists.
it exists.
I forget it.
I don't.
I forget it's there.
I think the next one will be better.
Prankster.
We'll talk about that.
Prankster is a
Prankster
hidden
is
ability,
good.
but that's to
Good.
me. That's to me why I think Liepard is pretty good. I think Liepard is pretty good.
Plus, I think other cat Pokemon in later tier lists that we do are going to have much higher ranks.
Dragon Ball, I'm going to bring you in for the Gen 4 one. You're going to be in voice chat for the Gen 4 one. Don't you worry about that. What'd you say, Chaos?
I think the ones for later or the later cat evolutions that are there, like either non-starters or starters, I think are better than Purloin, at least for starting points.
As a Pokemon to use during your playthrough, not great. Not great.
Yeah.
Competitively
No,
with
Esper.
Prankster, pretty good. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm pretty sure Wolf Glick used this thing to a moderate amount of success. Now, granted, he is the world's best Pokemon player, and he could probably do that with a wet paper bag.
Yeah.
But the fact that Liepard did see some high-level competitive play does mean it has potential.
Yeah, Liepard is actually kind of I like its design.
So, where's the final? I'm going with pretty good.
I will give you pretty good. It's not quite for me. The like barrier of entry is, can you pass superior? Nothing has been able to pass that to get to almost perfect to me.
That's fair.
This is like in that pretty good tier. It's not quite an almost perfect. Now
That's
the
fair.
next one.
I'm going to say something like, I do not want to stay on these elemental monkeys long.
They're all stupid.
I do not want to stay on the elemental monkeys long. So I feel like the first evolutions, they all exist. They all look stupid, but they all exist. The evolutions, all garbo.
Look stupider and are garbage.
I feel like this is a pretty good rank because they're pretty good early Pokemon, right? You get a free one of these in your black and white playthrough, depending on your starter, right? They give you a evolution stone whenever you get to the major city. But the fact that they are a slow experience gain group hurts them. Like, they gain experience slow. So you're spending so much more time trying to raise these things up. And by the time you get them strong, you get this bullshit. These are also 6 Pokemon that are not in any Switch game yet. Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily a hit we should consider, but that is a very fair point. That's a neat little factoid, too.
Like, just... No. So...
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, the starters are kind of cute. The middle one, or the evolutions, are terrible.
When I tell you I chose Snivy, right? And they gave me this thing, and I'm like, oh, look at the little monkey. It's got a little water spouter on top of his head. And I gave it a water stone, and it turned into this small child. How disappointed I was. And then my buddy got this one.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even want to see the fire one. I don't even want to see that shit.
Yeah, they look ugly. The evolutions look ugly.
Muna, a Pokemon that is based on a reference in a Generation 1 game.
Yeah. It's what's the reference? I'm trying to remember.
There's a trainer out. No, there's a trainer outside of Lavender Town. And it's a girl, and the girl says something like, hey, I'm paraphrasing here. It's something along the lines of, I wonder if there's a pink Pokemon with flowers or something like that. And then bam, we've got a Pokemon that's made up of dream energy.
Okay, cool.
So I didn't
know that.
The concept of it, average. Everything else about Muna, below average.
I can agree with you. I like Moon. I can easily punt it like a football.
Oh, God. We're going to have a separate tier. Just Pokemon Dragon Ball can win in a fight with.
Like punting tier?
Can I punt this Pokemon?
Can I punt this Pokemon tier?
At least we're not doing the. At least we're not doing the smash or pass one.
Thank God.
Pass.
I'm not doing that. That is a pass on me. But I think I think it below average is fine. Though I will say with the secondary or the evolution, this Pokemon, if I remember, Musha, it takes up actually a big story in the Pokemon Black and White Adventures manga.
Really?
Like it's heavily involved with Black and White, like as character. Or specifically, I think it's involved with Black. I think I'd have to look it up. But it has a big part of the story. And that's neat. That's a neat little thing. I don't think it saves it from the below average tier. But it's a neat little thing. It gives it a cool identity.
Yeah. And it's another taper that involves eating dreams.
I never read the manga. It's because I like the sparkly ones more than reading.
That's understandable. All right. P-Dove. I think
P-Dove.
that P-Dove is the weakest of the starting birds. Like, every other bird that we've gotten, to me, is better than P-Dove. I can punt that. I'd punt it for free.
I think P-Dove is like a pigeon. It's a rat with wings. It can go away. It's boring and uninteresting.
Yeah.
And they exist, in my opinion.
This thing exists. All right, Tranquil.
Yeah.
The reason I have an issue with this entire line is the fact that most of its moves that it gains upon the level up are special. Now, sure, you could train it, like, you could teach it fly, you could teach it aerial ace, but it learns fucking air slash. Its attack stat is so much higher than its special attack.
So, here's my question.
Yes.
So, as someone who played, really Gen 6 mostly.
Hold on, Chaos, hold on. Dragon Ball, we need you to explain that one. If it's a pigeon, it should be able to produce milk.
Yes, yeah. Pigeon can produce milk, I believe.
Can they?
I believe so. Yeah, bird milk's a thing. I think.
Bird milk? What do they need milk for? They lay eggs. The birds ain't got no breasts.
That or I might be sounding like an idiot. Which case, hey, funny thing you can put on, YouTube.
Oh, I'm googling this.
Can pigeon? Would you rather explain it to me in chat or in VC? Because it's much easier while yapping.
Only reason I'm saying doing it in chats because we're set up in a special VC, outside of everything. So I'm gonna have to reset it up just to allow you in it because we're not in my VC. That's the only reason I'm saying do it in chat right now. I'm gonna have to get it set up for you.
I'm actually looking it up right now. Yeah, I can.
What the fuck?
It produces its own milk called crop milk.
Fucking
it's producing the crop. Yeah.
Flamingos and penguins can also do it. You telling me a pip pup has nipples?
Apparently so.
You telling me Empoleon steel nipples can slice through the ice as it's traveling?
But here's the thing with Tranquil. Having air slash, here's my problem. To me, when I think of the non-starter birds in Pokemon games, the one I always look to as my favorite are Staraptor and Staravian.
Yes, agree.
These things don't cross that. So I would put them probably in the average tier.
Oh god, no, below average.
Maybe even below average, actually, if I'm being honest.
Single-handedly derailed the ranking for a second. Dude, please continue to do so. Please continue to do so.
No, I love this kind of discussions.
Now I think... Oh, sorry. Have you guys ever seen Talladega Nights?
Yes.
Where Will Ferrell says, my nipples are so hard they can cut diamonds? That's exactly what I'm going to think about every time I see a Pidove or an Empoleon. She's like, my nipples can slice through diamonds.
Alright, so the next one.
Fucking
Unpheasant.
Garbo. Hate these birds.
Garbo.
Hate these birds.
Yeah. So I think Unpheasant at least has an okay design. But yeah, I'd put it in they exist. I could even argue garbage. I can give you that one.
I like saying their names like I'm saying a German word. Unpheasant.
Yeah, Unpheasant.
I like it. Unpheasant. That's the best thing about its fucking name, though. Both of them. Both of them. Now, shiny. Shiny Unpheasant's good. Well, there's a gender difference. So the male Unpheasant has the longer feather, whereas female Unpheasant's kind of female Unpheasant's just bald.
Yeah. I would say, I'd put it in the garbage tier. I don't disagree with you. Next is the zebra one.
So Juan's going to give me some shit for this one.
Okay. What's the name of this one again?
Blitzel. Blitzel is its first evolution. Its second one is Zebstrika.
Alright.
Blitzel is the main reason I think Black and White are the weakest Pokemon games.
Okay, explain your reasoning.
I feel like Black and White have the weakest starter Pokemon routes. right? Outside of Lillipup being a hidden gem, everybody else we've talked about so far has not been great. Like, you have no powerhouses on this team, especially until you get around to the 4th or 5th gym when your Pokemon have evolved, right? Everybody that we've ranked so far, not been capable of carrying an entire team. Fun fact about that, male birds have more colorful feathers because females can't bring anything meaningful in the color department. Oh, that's right. They got to get out there and fucking dance for the females.
Yep.
Dragon Ball, it's you that has those educational YouTube videos, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's you that I've watched. Fucking bird milk.
I think Blitzel exists. I think it exists. It's fine. It's not harming anybody, but it ain't setting the world on fire.
So, Blitzel, the reason Blitzel is it, because you finally get to Blitzel. You get to Blitzel after the 2nd gym, right around the time you get to the daycare, and you see Blitzel, and you're like, God damn, this guy looks cool. I get an electric-type zebra with a little lightning bolt horn. Hell yeah. And then you look at its stats. And then it evolves, and you look at its stats, and you're like, oh, this thing runs fast.
See, it's having to live up to, like, one of my favorite electric, like, evolutions with, like, Ampharos and Flaffy, and it ain't living up to that. It ain't nowhere close.
If it had a middle evolution, and the middle evolution had Zebstrika stats, and Zebstrika had higher stats,
yeah,
phenomenal.
I agree with you. It'd be better. It'd be a lot better. I'd probably... Zebstrika at least has a cool design.
I'd agree below average on Zebstrika.
I will give you below average. I think below average is fine.
His design and his shiny is the only thing they got going for him.
Oh man, there's one Pokemon that we're gonna get to way later that I'm like so ready to be like, it's garbage.
See, we're starting to get into some fucking good ones right now. Like we're past the bullshit. We're past the bullshit, and we are at Unova Prime to me. Roggenrola, average. Fucking phenomenal rock line.
Yeah, I can give you average. They also look kind of cool. Like, it's definitely gonna come down to looks, and I think the looks, they kind of have this almost like a very natural look, but it's very kind of, I wouldn't say creepy, but yeah, they look weird, and I like that.
I can agree with you on that, Dragon Ball. However, I don't think repeated punts would work because it is rock.
You're kicking a rock. You're kicking a freaking rock.
I do feel like you could get at least one into orbit, though. After that, it's maybe a couple of feet off the ground. Alright, so let's take a detour away from Roggenrola, and let's go back to Boulder. Below average? Like, it looks funky to me.
It's a rock crab. Or no, I'm sorry. It's a rock lobster.
Yeah, there we go.
I feel terrible for that. It looks goofy. It looks goofy. I can't... It's got the most derpy looking face to me. For like a rock Pokemon?
Roggenrola is 39 pounds. Holy shit.
That's pretty fucking heavy. Hey, you ain't punting that shit.
Gen 4 tier can dragon punt this.
I'm gonna say below average. I'll say below average for Boldor.
All right. I'm arguing.
Okay, let me hear your argument.
Almost perfect.
Convince me.
Gigalith.
For what?
Gigalith. Almost perfect.
All right, let me look this up to see if I can agree with you on.
All right, so let's go. Right, we're back to Gen 5. We're back to VGC. Right, peak of the Weather Wars. Gigalith, Tyranitar, Sandstorm. Now, granted, it's Gen 5, Black and White, where we don't have Tyranitar, but who do we have? This monster that shows up.
It does look cool.
Have you seen it shiny? Gorgeous.
No, let me look.
Gorgeous. Right? It might be a trait evolution, but it's well worth it. Stats, pretty good. Super beefy. This thing is something I would not want to run into in a dark alley.
So I will say that's a pretty cool shiny.
It's a
the only thing that
shiny.
makes it a problem for me. Now, and I will say I will completely be a hypocrite on this when we get to the Gen 2 tier list. Trait evolution, and I hate that shit.
I see. That's the only thing that's knocking it down from God tier to me. I love Gigalith.
There is a trait evolution that you have to trade an item with in Gen 2 that I will be like, yes, it's a trait evolution, but I don't care because he looks cool. We'll get to that way later though in Gen 2.
Fucking love.
I will give you almost
shiny.
I will give you Gigalith is almost perfect. I'll give you it. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna grab him by his chest stick and move him up here.
Yeah, like he looks pretty cool, and I will give you almost perfect.
So the next Pokemon, Woobat. The only thing going for me about Woobat and Swoobat is there is a YouTube video from it's got to be 12 years old now, but they had Woobat
more harassment, RJ.
grabbing him by his chest stick. There's a YouTube video where Woobat evolves into Swoobat, but they're playing the Sailor Moon theme song and they're animating it like she's turning into Sailor Moon. And when she finishes, Swoobat like hits this pose and it swings over to the trainer and the trainer's just looking so disgusted.
I will say Woobat and Swoobat, both of them, I think are in the below average tier.
Woobat looks like the first enemy you run across in a turn-based JRPG. Like if I ran across Woobat in a Dragon Quest game,
yeah, that's
I ain't questioning it.
They don't feel right for Pokemon.
I don't question it, and I don't like his tail. Like, can he grab stuff with it? Is it for perching? Is it for pinching? Is he a sexual predator? We'll never know.
And, you know, for me, and it's a running theme if you've noticed with how I'm ranking the Pokemon, they have to live up to some of the other bats, and you're living up to things like Golbat with his big fucking mouth, and Crobat, you ain't living up to that.
Why would you punt Drillbur? He's so good.
Drillbur, okay, this is one I don't know, so I have to look up Drillbur.
Drillbur, I'm going to argue average. I think he's cool. There was also, fun fact, a glitch that happened during Pokemon Sword and Shield to which they accidentally released a Drillbur event and the Drillbur knew Hydro Pump.
Okay, that makes me that's kind of cool, but Drillbur is the derpiest looking Pokemon we've seen so far.
You put that thing derpier than those fucking elemental
Right,
monstrosities.
maybe not. Well, okay, that's an unfair comparison.
Just because he hasn't had a thought since 2011.
Like, we're not quite Dunsparce levels of derp. We're getting real close. He's got to be. I'll give you below average. I'll give you below average. His evolution actually looks pretty.
I'll go for below average. No, you get down here.
Yeah.
You're fine. You stay right there. Now, Excadrill.
Excadrill looks dope. Like, he looks really cool.
I have arguments for Excadrill on why he should be an almost perfect.
Okay, let me hear it.
First off, ground steel. Fucking phenomenal typing, right?
That's a really good typing.
Secondly, this thing's hidden abilities. It's got Sand Rush. It's got Sand Force. Both move.
In later games, it gets Mold Breaker.
It does have Mold Breaker, yes. So all three of those abilities, fantastic use, right? Tyranitar Excadrill is one of the most overused combos back then, but for good reason. You slap a Choice Band on a Sand Rush Excadrill, shit ain't living that. It looks cool. Exactly. You can't hug Excadrill with that. And finally,
I like the weird duck claws it has, like on different sides. But it kind of looks cool.
Plus, it touches its claws together with its face. It turns into a drill.
Yeah.
Right? Iris in the Pokemon anime, she had an Excadrill, and she's a fucking dragon type person. Like, is that not cool? We don't talk about her fucking Emolga, but
I
finally,
remember Emolga.
TED, TED, for VGC back in Sword and Shield before they came out with any of the DLCs. TED, Togekiss, Excadrill, Dragapult. That was your core. That was your offensive and defensive core. Those three Pokemon had such beautiful synergy with each other that they started calling them TED teams.
Yeah.
The only thing that hinders Excadrill is some of its stats. Like, it needs a little bit more defense, it needs a little bit more HP, it needs a little bit more speed. Outside of Sand Rush, the thing is slow as shit.
I will give you almost perfect. It's got like 1 or 2 design things that for me don't quite hit what I want, but it's still pretty good.
I will say it's shiny.
Really, really good.
Shiny's not that obvious. You know it's crazy when the team gets a name? Exactly. When you start getting called Ted, that's it, baby.
Let me look at its shiny before we go on to the next one.
It's okay.
The shiny.
It's okay.
Shiny's kind of worse.
That
actually would have knocked it down in a pretty good tier, actually. But I will give you almost perfect.
Okay. Audino. Let's think. Audino. Only Gen 5 that has a Mega Evolution, right? It is a Chansey knockoff, sure. It runs the Pokemon centers in the Unova region. On-site killing Audino. That's exactly right. That's where I'm going. You level up so good in Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 by EXP farming these things. They're on almost every route past the first gym. You EXP farm these things. Second gym, sorry.
I like its Mega, but I would put it in below average.
I agree. The only reason I don't want it in Garbo is because of its utility. But
yeah,
fuck you for taking Chansey.
Yeah, Chansey's cooler.
My God. Okay. All right. I'm about to start getting biased here.
What's this next one?
Timburr. 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 I don't like his veins.
I'm gonna say something. All 3 of these can go in the garbage tier.
Okay, nah. All right,
I'm gonna put all 3 in the garbage tier. It's only for and it's gonna be really mean why I put all 3 in the garbage.
Go ahead and explain your reasoning, and I'll explain my argument.
Because Girder shows up way too fucking much in Pokemon X, and I hate Girder's design.
That's fair. I'm not a fan of their bulging veins, right? So for Timburr, I do feel like should probably go in They Exist. Girder, I 100% agree with you in Garbo. Conch
Elder?
Elder?
What's cool is they're all construction workers, and that's kind of cool. It's a cool little theme. You know, they're all lifting some sort of thing, but yeah.
Conch
Girder's in garbage.
Elder? Pretty good. I have a fondness in my heart for Conch Elder. Mostly for 10 years of my life, I thought his name was Conkeldurr. And that made me happy. But stat-wise, fucking powerhouse. He hits Iron Fist. He gets a whole bunch of punching type moves. He's super bulky.
I'm looking it up right now. Isn't it Conkeldurr?
Conch Elder.
Oh, Conch Elder. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I hate Conch Elder too. It can go in. It can honestly go in the They Exist here. I don't think it's quite garbage like Girder, but it's pretty close.
I think it's pretty good.
Nah, man. I'll give you maybe below average if I'm being generous.
Oh, fine. I'll meet you there. But you're going above Emboar in the below average. You're the tip of your head is touching that average, my boy. I fucking love you, Conch Elder. Oh God! All right, this fucking thing. So Tempole.
Let me look it up.
He exists for me. He looks like a sperm. He looks like a. I fucking love Tempole. I would not punt it. He looks like a sperm that's wearing a pair of Beats by Dre.
Yeah, I can't unsee that now. He exists. Tempole, let's see here. I don't like its design. Like, it's kind of just
Now,
it's a nematode. Like it's it's a toad. It's another toad. So I'm like, yeah. There's been cooler toads.
how dare you say that once? You once looked like Temple. I couldn't afford Beats by Dre. That's why I'm salty. Oh God, sperm salty. Fuck. There's a whole circle of jokes there.
Stop.
There's a whole
Stop,
circle of
stop.
jokes.
Move on. Move on.
Palpitoad. Palpitoad's average or pretty good. I fucking love him. He vibes, man. He vibes and he vibrates. Not in a weird way. I know we were just talking about sperm, but not in that way.
I will say the thing that will definitely convince me. Let's look at his move pool, because a good move pool can sell me.
Now, I will say Ash had one in Unova. Granted, Ash's Unova team was his weakest team, and he had way too many Pokemon.
Wasn't his Unova team filled with like a bunch of old Pokemon?
Kinda, sorta. Like he used them in
the which was cool. But it kind of puts the knock on all the like
exactly
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball. Exactly Dragon Ball. He had that long ass tongue, man. He'd be licking stuff.
See, I'll say with like the black and white anime, I don't have a lot of attachment to it. By then, I quit the Pokemon anime during Advance because for dumb kid reasons. I hated May. Because
Really?
May was not Misty. Yeah, I hated May. She wasn't Misty.
That's fair.
Dude, as a kid.
I know people that stopped watching Doctor Who because the companions weren't Rose.
I mean, yeah.
That's just Palpitoad at that tongue game for real. How are you gonna say Rose is your favorite companion when we got fucking Amelia Pond and? All right, we're getting off track. We're gonna have this conversation later.
Oh, you don't want to. Oh, I have some opinions about that whole era of Doctor Who, by the way.
I'm putting Palpitoad in average.
I'll give you average. I can give you average.
Now, Seismitoad. Pretty good.
I will say, at first, I was like, I don't know about Seismitoad. But the more I look at it, the more it looks so, like... It looks so sad, but I'm like, you look so sad, I can't help but like it. I just want you to be okay. I just want you to just feel good.
I love his swift swim ability. It makes up for his lack of stats. I say as I used it in my black playthrough.
It is a pretty... It's not the prettiest.
I wouldn't want to have one in real life. Like, I wouldn't want that thing to touch me. But I would look at it from afar and be like, that thing's pretty cool.
It does subscribe to the muck rule of probably ugly might actually be cute. Because Muck's adorable.
It has back eggs. Ugh.
It does have back eggs. Ugh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go average. That might have hit it that average.
You can sit beside your son. All right. Fucking instant Garbo.
Just throw. We're putting. Or which one is this one? This one.
Throw.
Is,
this one's throw.
Throw shows up way too much in like X, or it was either X and Y or Omega Ruby. I also showed up way too much. I'm like, dude, go away. Yeah, he's Garbo. Instant Garbo. I mean, I agree. Yeah. Sock probably too, but I like Sock more than I like Throw. There's a species of frog that birth their young from their back. Yeah, he's right. Fucking. I don't remember the species, but yeah. Kinky. I'll say both of them kind of are in Garbo tier. They're just too prevalent, and they're just as a design. They're less interesting. Early gen fighter Pokemon. Look, fighters. They bring up. They bring up too many questions, right? It's an animal. Okay. Pokemon are animals, right? Suck on these nuts. Oh my god. They're animals. They're wearing clothes. Do the clothes come with them at birth? Can they take their clothes off and wash them if they get dirty? Or does Sock's black belt feel like flesh? I will say for me personally that the one thing they have, maybe they could be in the here because they are Throw is a Judoka, and that's cool. It's cool to have another martial art represent. We've had kickboxers. we've had boxers. We've had kickboxers. We had wherever the fuck Tyrogue is supposed to be.
A child. He's a small child.
Like, we've had a bunch. It was cool to have a judoka actually kind of represented, and more karate, like specific martial arts outside of just boxing and kickboxing. And that's cool, but I can be okay with garbage. They don't leave it that much of a lasting impact for me, personally.
Swaddle.
Dewaddle.
Swaddle. Sewaddle.
Swaddle. Okay, Swaddle.
I will say,
it's just
all three of my shiny
so you know
Swaddles, accidents. Very happy accidents. I was hunting a Ladybug, and every time I turned around, I saw a shiny Swaddle just staring at me. And I'm like, you can come with me, little fella. I agree. Like, I'd sideways kick it. I wouldn't full force kick it.
It exists. It kind of is just like it's the quote unquote, or not quote unquote. It's the caterpillar evolution. It's not bad. It's not setting the world on fire either.
Now Swadloon.
I actually kind of like Swadloon.
Did you give birth to these grass bugs? He was a happy little accident.
I actually kind of love Swadloon because his whole just leave me alone. I don't want to be here and look on his face.
I agree. He looks like he's warm and toasty in his little sweater. I can give him below average.
Yeah, I'll give him below average.
He's a little guy. I pat him. Punch it. It's so ball shaped.
Yeah, it is. It is a ball shape. It is. He is not wrong. Levani. That shit's garbo. You took Swadloon, which was a kind of cool design, and made it worse. Grass bug mommy.
The anime makes her so good, though. Like, Ash's Leavanny is so good. I'd at least say mommy exists.
Okay, I can give you exists.
I'd at least say I don't like her evolution method, which is like friendship. Like, I don't know why I have to befriend that caterpillar bug thing to make it evolve. And also, like, I don't know, like, I'm not a big fan of the Pokemon designs that heavily influence, like, one gender. Like Bug Mommy, right? Or to put something you're a big fan of, Finnegan. Finnegan into Delphox. If Delphox had gender differences where one looked like a warlock and the other one looked like a witch, I think it would be great. But to make a Pokemon that's 12.5% female ratio look like a female at all times, it's an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice. Yet we have gender differences for fucking Venusaur.
It's true.
And Blaziken. I feel like we could have had a warlock and a witch version. All right.
I would love to have Fennekin have like a witch's hat. That would have been cool.
That would have been good. Venipede. Love Venipede.
Venipede? I think Venipede's alright. Bug Poison will always win me over. Even if I don't like, I always meme about like not liking Pokemon. Bug Poison is a pretty fun typing. Does a lot of damage.
I'd say average. I'd say as far as bug Pokemon go, pretty good.
Yeah, I can give you pretty. I can give you like pretty good. I'll give you just at the bottom of pretty good.
Fucking the male Torchics have buttholes, but the females don't. They have to hold their poo for their entire life. Fucking Whirlipede.
Below average. It's not that interesting. It looks kind of cool when I first I was like,
I'll agree with you there. Now, Scolipede. Scolipede is a Pokemon that I did not like. It has grown on me, it has grown on me. Speed Boost fucking fantastic. It's shiny, fantastic. I would ride that fucking bug like a horse. Exactly. Like, Scolipede should be a ride Pokemon in one of these games.
Yeah, I'm looking at its like move pool learned by like TM and stuff. It's in all its levels. It's got some pretty good moves. Like hell, it can get rollout. TM, it can learn things like Rock Slide, Sunny Day, Rock Tomb. Yeah, like a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I would say these are pretty good.
I'd agree. I'd put him right there with his first evolution.
Yeah.
How much more we got? I think we're about. Good God. As I say,
halfway.
I think we're about halfway. Okay.
We're not even halfway.
All right. Cottony. Well, Cotton Swab Pokemon.
It exists.
100% agree with you.
I think both it and Whimsicott.
Ooh, I'm prepared to die for Whimsicott. I'm prepared to die.
Maybe I could give you average. I could give you average.
I'm prepared to argue pretty good.
I know
Prankster.
A lot of people really like Whimsicott.
Prankster Tailwind.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good. You know what? I'll give you pretty good. I will give you pretty good.
Thank you. Pretty good. As far as competitive Pokemon go, really good. Right? It's not it's frail. I was about to say it's not strong. It could hit off a pretty good Moonblast or a pretty good Hurricane. Good for rain teams, good for sun teams, good for teams overall. I really enjoy Whimsicott.
I'm looking ahead just to see, and there's a couple that are going to. I've noticed we haven't hit God tier yet. We're gonna hit God tier at a certain point.
There's going to be some Pokemon that come across God tier, and I'm prepared to die on the hill for some of these.
Same here. There's two of them that I'm gonna die on the hill for. Petal.
Pyro, I tried. Also, what up, Pyro?
Yeah, I was the reason to get Concealedor in below average.
We're coming up with compromises. I wanted to put him as almost perfect.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Here's what's really interesting. You're talking to someone here who, like, Gen 5, I was already kind of out, but I kept up with everything. He's kind of like, in terms of designs, and who kind of went back to look at a lot of Gen 5 stuff to have some appreciation of it. So I have a very, I would say, flawed perspective. Like, Gen 2, I will have a much more passionate opinion, but I have some opinions about these.
Teeny's pretty good because of his design and the fact that you get to go to a fancy little place and pick them up, unlike they just
Victini's
pretty good.
Cute, and I like the event Pokemon, and like some of the other ones that like I think aren't surprising, like the fact I wonder how many people are surprised that we put like Superior in the almost perfect tier.
I
think Superior is just a cool design.
Regal as fuck.
Yeah, I think it's
Fuck Teeny.
Fuck Teeny.
We'll be able to get a shiny one soon. I'm certain on Pokemon Day that they're going to announce. Oh God! All right, so real quick predictions for Pokemon Day. My prediction.
Okay.
I'm certain. I am certain that they are going to give out a shiny Victini if you have the Pokedexes completed for all of the ones, right?
I can agree with that.
Because they've given out shinies for each individual Pokedex, so Scarlet Violet, Diamond and Pearl, Arceus, and all that stuff. And they've mostly been Gen 5 Pokemon, right? I feel like they're going to announce at Pokemon Day, they're like, hey, we know you've been making you guys fill out these Pokedexes. We've been giving you cool-ass shinies. If you've done them all, here's your victory. Here's your victory trophy. Shiny Victini.
Yeah.
They're not going to announce Gen 5, Pyro. They're not going to announce Gen 5.
So RJ has made a little, or Arjados has made a little bit of a bet about Gen 5. If Gen 5 remake gets announced, he has said that he will buy me a copy of Lunar Silver Star or Lunar Remastered Collection. So I'm hoping for that stuff. But
yes, I did.
I don't think it'll happen.
I said if Gen 5 gets announced, I would buy him the next game he's going to stream.
Okay, yeah, you heard that last night. For people that weren't here, I don't think it'll get announced though. He's made some really good points, and on top of that, I don't think it's gonna happen just because I don't
Hell
think
yeah,
they're gonna
Pyro.
release a
Hell yeah.
Pokemon game. They're not gonna start a Switch 2 with a remake. It just doesn't feel possible. But my Pokemon prediction, I think, will be that they're going to announce a. They're going to put Ruby and Sapphire on the Nintendo Switch Online for the Game Boy Advance.
So there's a rumor that's been
they've been
going around for a long time that they're going to be putting all of the games on like one Switch cartridge.
That'll never happen.
I would want to so bad, but I do believe they're not going to do it. I do think
that'll never
we'll
happen.
see a shiny Victini distribution for having all of the Pokedexes completed. ZA is going to be switched with double release on both.
Double release. Yeah, I could see it.
The rumor is split. I can see that. I'll be getting a
I
Switch
could honestly
too.
see a double port of ZA, which, if it's anything like Breath of the Wild, don't play the original version of it.
Play the Switch 2
because Breath of
version.
the Wild Ryu was kind of ran poorly. 2 classic games and the 3D games are eShop. Yeah, I think that would just make the most, like, Red, Silver, Fire Red, Ruby on one cartridge. That would be really interesting if they did Red, Silver, Fire Red, and Ruby on, like, a cartridge. But I just don't see them do that. Like, they've had no interest in putting, like, making a ROM dump collection for Pokemon. They'd rather just put them on Switch Online. Now, would that be good? Yeah, I think it'd make a ton of money. I think a lot of people would love to be able to rebuy things like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green in a collection. But it's never gonna happen. I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think that's how Nintendo operates. They're not gonna do like what Capcom did with the Marvel vs. Capcom collection.
Oh boy.
Don't trust 4chan.
I don't know now.
Be like,
I don't know now.
if you're gonna go for leaks, go to Reset Era. I'll always die on that hill.
A Reset Era. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be NeoGAF.
I don't know what that is either.
Okay. Oh wow, man, I feel old. Okay.
We got him
NeoGAF
distracted,
was a
chat. Let's put fucking Pedalil
Yeah.
in the god tier.
Gamer forum, basically, just to simplify it. Pedalil. Yeah. No.
Oh, look at her. Look at her.
No.
She's cute.
No. Not in God tier. No. I may be behind of you on the video, but
Oh.
no God tier. It is average.
Yeah. Stop saying words, Magic Man. They leaked the full video of ZA with 3 minutes and 23 minutes, or 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Dude, I'm so fucking hyped for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It sucks. It's at 9 in the fucking morning.
I'll be waking up just to watch it and then going back to sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna try to get a break. Lilligant.
Oh, so good.
Lilligant.
Grass Mommy.
Lilligant, I will put in the pretty good tier.
I agree. I like her dress.
Yeah.
I will be at work. No, Pyro, no.
I'll be out of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I hate all three. I hate the red stripe, the blue stripe, and the white stripe. Even though that's not the white stripe, that's another copy of the red stripe. I hate all three.
You hate all three? Oh, dude, I love Sandile.
Not Sandile. Sandal's great.
Sorry, I'm ahead
Bastion.
of you. I'm ahead of you.
I was like, I fucking
Dude, I
love
don't-
Sandile.
No, Baskin's boring. Yeah, no, this is lame. Garbo.
I was like, I know, I agree. Fuck these
It's
fish.
just a fish. It's just an angry fish. Garbo.
You,
Garbo.
white stripe, you have an argument if we were doing Hisui. Although we are not, so you stay here.
Yeah, just an angry looking magic carp.
I'd punt all three. I think you'd get to the third one and it would chomp your leg. But I do think you'd get some distance with that fish. Can someone weight check Basculin for me? Juan, are you still here? Weight check him like you weight checked the Roggenrola.
Yes, please. Actually, I got it. 39.7 pounds.
You're telling
So I
me
don't-
that this fucking Basculin is how heavy?
39.7 pounds.
Oh, bullshit.
He a big one. He a big boy.
Juan said rock and roll is 39 pounds and he's made out of fucking rock. What's this fish made out of?
Skin and bone? I don't know what to tell you.
How in the hell are they the same weight?
Dude, look. Pokemon weights and height are like
Pure
whose line is
hatred.
it anyway? Points. The points are made up, and it doesn't really matter.
Good. All right. Great Pokemon line. Great Pokemon line.
I'll actually say Sandile, Crocodile, and Crocodile, all pretty good. They're all pretty good.
I really want to argue that Crocodile is almost perfect.
I'll give you that. I'll give you Crocodile is almost perfect.
I like his whole aesthetic with him being kind of like a gangster.
Yeah.
Dark Ground is a fantastic typing. Intimidate is really good. Moxie as an ability is absolutely fantastic. You knock out a Pokemon, you get an attack increase. Slap a Choice Scarf on that thing and just run through. The middle one is not really. I kind of like Crocorock.
Yeah, I like Crocorock. I like all of them, actually. If I remember, I had a Crocorock in my X playthrough.
He's such a he's such a boy.
Yeah, no, I love Crocorock. I love them all.
I pet him.
They're all pretty good. Not quite almost perfect. I would say, actually, I would push back a little bit on Crocodile being almost perfect, but I'll give it to you.
Crocodile is so good.
I'll give it.
Even his 3D model.
Darumaka.
Darumaka.
We're gonna get Darumaka. Oh, dude. Darumaka and Darmanitan? They're boring. They exist.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I've seen these Pokemon for years. I'm always like, who?
As far as in-game playthrough goes, they're fucking stacked.
Yeah, I know. That's why I probably would concede them as like average, and probably, honestly, I would say pretty good. Like, even if I don't like them, my personal ranking, it would be they exist. But I would say pretty good or average.
I'll give you average to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Pyro does have a point. Like, you do put Darumaka poop in your pockets to stay warm. I don't know why there's two versions of Darmanitan, but we're gonna put them in here.
Yeah. I would say average, but because Sealdor is below average.
We'll put Zen mode here. I like Zen mode.
Alright, up next is let me see, what's this one? I don't have that one in my list.
I got you, Dragon Ball. Maractus.
Which one is it? What's the name of it? This blue one that's after Darmanitan?
Oh, Zen mode Darmanitan. It's a special attacking one. It's like a fire psychic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Maractus, it just exists, man. Like I don't think it sucks because I think it's got a pretty good design, but I 100% forget this thing exists.
Yeah, it exists.
Oh shit! I know why. I know. I was gonna say I know what Pyro's here for.
What is he here for?
It's one of his favorite Pokemon is Dweeble, and why did I remember every Pokemon in God's existence until we get to this thing?
Dweeble.
Crustables.
Dude.
Crustal, you fool.
I'm gonna be real, man. I think these things were in X and Y, if I remember.
They were
average.
now average. Now I'm gonna stay with Pyro here for a little bit. I don't think they're God tier.
They're not. They're definitely not God tier.
I think they're both pretty good. I love their designs. Little hermit crab.
Crustal Bustle. Okay, you might.
Fucking Crustal Bustle.
It is a hermit crab. That does have definitely a win over for me.
I think it's pretty good.
You know what? I'll give you pretty good. I'll give you pretty good for both of them, especially for Crustal.
Now, Crustal is really good for a bunch of different reasons. Pyro used one competitively on me and fucking destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, made me afraid of Crustal. Shell Smash. I underestimated it. That thing Shell Smashed and just went fucking through me. Secondly, like its design, it's got this sediment rock. It's pretty good. Pokemon
pretty good.
Unite. Pokemon Unite. It's a really good Pokemon. Shell Smash does go hard. Like, I don't hate when I'm doing Dynamax dens and my NPC partners grab a fucking crystal. I don't hate it. Okay. Alright, it's time.
No, it's not time.
It's
not time.
It's time. My first argument.
Not time. No, it's not time.
God tier.
Not yet. Nope, no way. Can't give you Scraggy as God tier.
Both of these.
I will give
Pokemon.
you Scraggy is pretty good and Scrafty is almost perfect. I'll give you those. I'm not giving you God tier.
I'll take it.
I'll make. We'll get when we get to God tier, and I'll tell you why. I just don't. Dark fighting is a cool typing. It's a cool typing.
Scraggy average.
But I hate. I just don't like. I hate their. I hate their design, like their look. But they're. But I'll give you almost perfect. I'll give you almost perfect.
Scrafty. Scraggy's pretty good, right? I like Scraggy. I like his whole pulling his pants up thing. Scrafty, all right? Fucking high jump kick, crunch. He learns Dragon Dance for fuck's sake. He's a little.
I know, but he's. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna disagree with you on God tier, man. Nah, there's gonna be one. Don't worry, you're gonna fight me on one for God tier. It'll come up though pretty soon.
That's fine. If it's this soon. One, we're really questioning some shit. But we'll come back to it.
I'm a little behind on you. Video.
Gothitelle. If it's Gothitelle, we're questioning some shit. No, it's not. It ain't
Gothitelle. It is. I will let you know. It is in that section, but it's not there. It's not Gothitelle.
Okay, I think I know which one.
Pretty obvious if you know. If you can figure it out.
It's Minchino. Hell yeah.
No Minchino.
Hell yeah.
It ain't no Minchino. No, it's the weird Bio one. But no, we'll get there. We'll get there. I will defend my point.
Sigilyph. It exists.
I like Sigilyph. I think it kind of has the same vibe that Xatu has, and I like the kind of. You shut your mouth. Zoroark is not trash.
Original Zoroark, overhyped. Hisuian Zoroark.
No,
beautiful.
Both are great. Beautiful. Both of them are great. I will. You shut your.
Xatu. How the fuck did Xatu do it better?
So Xatu, I think design-wise, I like the look of him, of Sigilyph, but I do think Xatu looks a little.
Oh, that's what you meant.
He's got the very mystical vibe that I like. So I would say.
I thought you were talking about that Xatu did it better than Zoroark. I was like, wait, hold up. Off to bed, I'll have stream open so I can argue with Chaos in my dreams about his very wrong Pokemon views. I appreciate the alert, Dragon Ball. Oh. Chaos is breaking up so bad. Are you there, Chaos? Did we lose you? He's not here. He can't argue with me for doing this. I didn't say he was bad, Juan. I said he was overhyped. Chaos will be back in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we lost him. All right, now that he's not here, we can sit here and we can go through this stuff. All right, this little nerd, this little guy, this little crazy boy, apparently used to be a human in his past life. Oh yeah, we can move Conk Elder higher. We got to move some of these things around. All right. Fucking Pokemon whose name I forgot. Cofagrigus' baby. Yanmask, that's right. I'm thinking below average. Because I'm not really a fan of this design. I'm more of a fan of his Galarian form. I think Galarian Yanmask is so much cooler than just like little gold-faced tummy. Right? Cofagrigus. Juan made me scared of Cofagrigus the same way you made me scared of Crystal. I think its ability Mummy is super, super underrated. I think it's very disruptive when it comes to competitive battling, especially like BGC. So yeah, like pretty good. I think he's pretty good. Now, is Runerigus better? Yes. But Cofagrigus, I think it's pretty good. Turtles. Tirtuga is definitely better than Caracosta. I think that the early design for both fossils are pretty good. I think as far as fossils go, they're pretty good. Now these guys, Pokedex entry says that it died off because its shell was too heavy. Right? Did I use one in a playthrough? Yeah. Did I regret it? Also, yeah. As far as the fossils go, though, and just like overall vibe, I do think it's probably average. Now, Archeops. That ability drags it down so much. Like, it's got such good stats, but the ability to Fetus, that thing goes to half hit points and it's just weak. I mean, sure, the same thing could be said about Archon, however you pronounce it. But I mean, at least looks cute, right? This thing, when it flies, it looks like it's struggling for its life. Like, it also looks like it has mange. Like its head has no feathers. It's like it got sunburned. Like a sunburned earthworm that fell into an arts and crafts display. Alright, so I said at the start, my spoiler for you guys was that Trubbish is not going in Garbo. I like him. I like Trubbish. I think Garbodor should go, like, here. They are little trash. They are little trash. But as a Gen 1 lover, Pyro, as a Gen 1 lover, you should know that if we're getting onto this Pokemon, because he looks like a trash bag, that we literally have Muck and Grimer, who's just goo. Muck did do it better. Right? But Gen 5 gets a lot of hate for Pokemon that just look like certain things. Like an ice cream cone. Sure. We also got Magnemite, which is a fucking magnet. We got Voltorb, which is just a Pokeball. Cum was better. Yeah, that's right. What's Garbodor backwards? It's nothing. But like we got that. Fucking Pidgey's just a bird. Pidgey don't even like a Pokemon compared to some of these newer birds. Alright. I am going to say that Zorua, almost perfect. I think the design for Zorua is really good. I love his ability. I do think Hisuian Zorua would end up in the God tier, especially the shiny version. Are you back in the Discord? Oh, you are. Hold on, I gotta yank you in here. I'll just jump over here to this one. Much easier. Oh, everything good on your end?
Okay, I'm in. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so let me open back up the Twitch VOD. I lost. All right, so where are we at? Because
Zork.
Okay, so what were the last ones we passed? Because I missed a lot.
The fossils. I did the fossils, and I did the trash boys.
All right, so Sigilyph, yeah, he's. Let me see here. Where'd you put Sigilyph? You put him in. They exist. I can give you they exist. He's kind of So far, all right. So let's see here. All of these, yeah, I can give you pretty much where they are. I think they're all pretty fine.
Now I did put.
Sorry about.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Trubbish and Garbodor. I think they're fine where they are. Like, they're in. They exist. Yeah. Zora should be in
That was a spike in volume right there, Chad. I apologize for that one. And scared me too.
Sorry. Zora should be in God tier. I don't know what we're arguing here. And Zorak should also be in God tier because they're both awesome. I'm not biased in any way.
I will give you almost perfect for Zorua. I think he is an adorable little guy. I think he's great in the movies. I think he's great in the anime.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Hisuian Zora, I think, would end up in God tier.
I am not. You can't prove anything.
He's already on the watch list for saying Delphox is the best fire starter.
You can't prove anything. You can't prove anything. I'm not. You have no proof.
Oh.
No, yeah. I'll give you
pretty good for him.
I will argue for at least almost perfect for them both.
You know what? You've given me some. I'll give you almost perfect.
Okay, I will take that. They would be personally in my God tier, but they're almost perfect.
All right, we're a little over halfway now.
Sorry about that freaking Discord issues on.
Hey man, it happens. I'm surprised my computer didn't kick me off Fortnite earlier. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I was weird. I was like, I'm sorry, and then all of a sudden I just died. It's like, oh, how dare I talk about Sigilif?
It knew.
Yeah, it knew.
All right, Minchino. I get them confused. I get Min and Sin, but you got to think about it alphabetically. Min comes before Sin. M comes before C. So
I think they're both okay. They're just okay.
I do like them. I don't like them for where they come into the game. Like they're a little late game, but hidden ability is great, especially with this one learning fucking with Bullet Seed, Tail Slap, and Rock Blast. Phenomenal. You slap a choice band on that thing, it'll go through a team in a heartbeat. I'm not a fan of these Pokemon. I'm not a fan of them.
So I will say I think Gothitelle is okay. It's fine. It's yes, all the memes aside, I think Gothitelle's fine. It's a psychic type. It's below average. Maybe they exist here.
I will give these two. They exist. Except for this one. I got to give this one Garbo. Like, this one's at least like a tiny little child. Like, the eyes and everything. This one is...
I can give you
it's like,
yeah, it doesn't do anything.
What were you going for? I do remember this Gothitelle gave us some trauma in Scarlet and Violet whenever they released 6-star raids. And we were just like, oh, let's go try one of these 6-star raids because we can blow through 5-star raids. And it was the first time Juan and I had to sit back and be like, all right, we need a fucking strategy for this. Because it was a steel-type Gothitelle, and it was clapping our ass back to back to back.
Okay.
Oh, embryo time.
I think this one has a really cool idea of kind of being like a bioorganism.
Yeah.
So it looks interesting. But I will agree with Pyro. It's pretty average, pretty good.
I agree on the first two. Actually, you know what? Pretty good. Okay, never mind. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think my biggest complaint is they do show up way too much in X and Y. Like, I kept running into them constantly. I'm like, dude, I'm so tired of this Pokemon.
I like the idea of Reuniculus, however you want to say it.
It's actually a cool Pokemon design.
Yeah, like, it's really good. I like its stats. I like Trick Room. I wish it would have some kind... Like, it has Psyshock, which is a special attacking move that does physical defense. I wish instead of having a attack, that would have been its ability. Kind of like, or ignore weather and status ability, or Life Orb. Like, it ignores Life Orb damage with its ability. We talked about it earlier. Fucking Decidueye. Decidueye has an ability that says all of its attacks are ranged attacks. Right? So that it doesn't, like, physically touch the opponent. Long reach is what it's called. So I wish Reuniclus would have had something that's like every one of its special attacks does physical damage. Like it would have put it like a unique spin on it, especially with it like having like super psychic abilities. I think that would have been cool.
Okay. I think you made some fair points.
So pretty good. And it's shiny. It's shiny is so good in every generation that's not fucking Generation 9. That shit is so hard to see.
Ducklet and Swanna.
Alright, average, this thing fucking sucks.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't really care for them.
I'll give it Ducklet. I like Ducklet. I think Ducklet's cute. This thing, this abomination with its fucking seashell bra.
Yeah, it's kind of... it's a design choice.
Like, it's got its hands on its hips like it's being sassy for some reason. Like, you're judging me for staring at you.
I'm saving my energy for the next one.
Okay. Hit me with it. I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Vanillite is... I actually think Vanillite just exists. Vanillite doesn't bother me.
I'm gonna give you whatever you want on these.
I think Vanillite, even ignoring the whole ice cream thing, just look, it's just an uninteresting ice type, and there are cooler ice types.
There are, especially with better coverage.
And then Vanillux is just, it's a double scoop of ice cream. No, that's lame. I'm sorry. It's all Garbo. Like, the other two are Garbo. Vanillite actually just exists. The other two are just Garbo.
Okay, so for the ice cream argument.
Okay.
For the ice cream argument, not yet. By the time stream ends, yes. I'll say the same thing I said about Garbodor and Trubbish whenever Discord was giving you some glitch stuff.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work on you because you don't care about Gen 1 as much, right? But everybody that hates Vanillite because it's an ice cream or Trubbish because it's a trash bag, you have to understand, we've made everything into a fucking Pokemon at this point. Magnets, fucking toxic gas, a fucking cum stain on the ground.
That is true.
Like a Pokeball that came to life. Like, you got to take off the nostalgia glasses. Yes, it's an ice cream cone. Is that a weird thing to make a Pokemon out of? Sure. But then you look at fucking Ekans. That's just a snake.
Yeah, but it's an awesome looking thing. Plus,
see, Pyro, that's understandable, and I am okay with that assessment.
Especially if you were gonna make a food Pokemon, and they're using Unova, which is America and is New York City, why not make it a slice of pizza?
See, now, if
a pizza Pokemon,
they would have come out with this Pokemon before they came out with the America one, and then they would have had not a regional variants. What are they calling them? Like not the split evolutions, convergent evolutions, like Toad School. Like Toad School is related to Tentacruel and Tentacool. Yeah. But it's not. It's like a land version of it, right? They could have had a Convergent evolution where it was a slice of pizza because it fits the shape, right?
Divergent evolution.
Yeah, Divergent. That's what it was.
Yeah.
They could have had that, and that would have been cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just... It was too weird even for Pokemon.
All right. I don't like the fact...
is a deer.
I don't like the fact that they gave us so many.
That's my... Deerling and Sawbuck. They're deer.
Oh, hold on. I can delete them. Okay, hell yeah. Get out of here. I don't need all of them.
Yeah, we don't need all of them.
I'll keep you because I like your hair the best.
Yeah, we do not need all of the Sawbucks. They exist. And to be honest, they're
deers. They're shiny. The only difference is like your little flower's pink.
Besides,
fucking
Emolga. When we're talking deer, like Xerneas is like probably the coolest deer Pokemon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm an advent Emolga hater.
Yeah, I don't care for Emolga.
Garbo.
I don't know. Emolga is like the pigeon of the Pokemon world. It's a rat with wings, and it's just way too prevalent.
I want Dragon Ball to be able to hear this in his dreams, but I would punt the shit out of Emolga.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I found a shiny one accidentally in X and Y, and my reaction was literally like, oh. Like, I needed one for my living decks, but it was just like, oh.
There are also cooler, like, electric rats.
Like, it's the most worst Pikachu clone.
Yeah, like Pachirisu came before, and Pachirisu was awesome. Like,
yeah, it's better than a Moga.
Yeah,
okay.
No, Pachirisu's great. Pachirisu
won
the World Championship.
Togedemaru.
Pachirisu.
All right, Carablast.
Shoot, it's a bug.
It exists.
It exists.
Escavalier.
Looks dope.
Pretty
good.
Fucking good.
Pretty good.
Also competitively, pretty fucking good.
Fungus and Among Us.
I am arguing God tier for Among Us.
I'll give you almost perfect.
I understand
the competitive thing, but here's my thing. I hate its derpy looking face.
That's fine. Among Us almost perfect. I'll take it. Now Fungus, average.
Fungus at average.
I like the toss up in Gen 5 because Gen 5 was basically just like a restart of the Pokemon generation, right? Like they mirrored a lot of Gen 1 stuff. So it was the new Voltorb in which you saw the Pokeball item on the ground and you went to go touch it, and boom, Fungus. So I like it. Frillish. I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot in my heart for Jellicent. Frillish to me.
I kind of like them both. I'd put them in like average.
Water
Ghost is a cool typing, by the way. I like that typing.
It is, and I would like to say average for Jellicents, but probably below average for Frillish.
Frillish? I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I don't like the William Shakespeare.
Oh, dude, I like the mustache. I like it.
I fucking love the mustache.
And I like I like the Shakespeare look of Frillish. But yeah, I can go below average with
It's
Frillish.
okay. I love the crown. I love the regal looks, right? Oh.
Yeah.
Garbo.
It's just less interest, or it's just another love disc.
It should have evolved from Love Disc. The only thing interesting about Alomomola, whatever you want to call it, it should have come out in the Alola region, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's just its name is the same backwards. Like that's literally the only thing interesting about this thing.
Yep.
It's shiny as horrible. I mean, fuck yeah, Joltik. Galvantula is so good. Cool.
I wouldn't put Joltik. Nah, those things ain't god tier, but they are pretty good.
I would say Joltik's pretty good. I love the design choice. I love how it's like the smallest Pokemon. Shiny sucks. Galvantula, I would want to argue almost perfect. With compound eyes and thunder.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Super strong.
I like its design. I also just like an electric bug. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'll give you almost perfect.
Joltik is the most adorable Pokemon. I will say it got better in Scarlet and Violet.
There's one thing, for the record, and I know people are gonna say what they're gonna say. For the record, if there's one thing I would change on your tier list, not the whole Zora being god tier, but I would put Zora and Zorak at the top of almost perfect. Just saying for the posterity's sake.
I'll give you that.
For the posterity's sake.
I'll give you this. I think King Snake.
Yes, put them in god tier. I saw you almost put them in the god tier.
No.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I will actually give you that one.
So here's one I'm going to argue for too. Ferroseed, average. I love the design. For Rawthorn, almost perfect. You think Ferroseed just exists, Pyro? I love its design.
I think Ferroseed is kind of just kind of okay. Grass Steel's kind of cool.
I'll give you guys.
I'll give you Ferrothorn as at least pretty good. I don't know if I go almost perfect, but it's just on the edge of pretty good to almost perfect. It's not quite almost perfect.
Yeah. So like as far as Grass Steel goes, right? You put that thing on a water competitive team, fucking phenomenal. And I cannot remember the name of that move right now, but it does more damage the slower you are. And like that was its move for the longest time. Pyro, what's the name of that move? I'm losing it. Gyro ball. Gyro ball. Gyro ball? Euro ball?
Gyro ball.
I don't think they'd call it Euro ball.
It's not Euro ball, it's gyro ball.
God, we're almost at the end. Holy shit. We've been going for like 2 hours.
We're getting away. And we're coming up on another one eventually that I'm going to argue for God tier.
There's a couple I'm going to argue for God tier. Clink.
Clink, Clang, and Clink Clang. They all exist. To actually, I would say even Garbo, because they're gears.
I think I would go here. Because out of all of them, I like Clink Clang the best. These two, like this one's, I understand this one plus this one, or this one is right here, right? And then this is here, but with like pants on or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah.
It's less interesting Magnemite and like the Magna Pokemons.
Yeah.
Like they're not as interesting. Tynamo? You want to talk about sperm looking Pokemon?
That's true. And its shiny's god awful to hunt for.
Yeah, I'll put that in Garbo tier. An electric fish. There's cool. I mean, that's sort of neat. But nah, doesn't do anything for me.
Electric, I'll put in Garbo tier. Electros, I think at least below average. It's the first.
I'll agree with you on those.
To this day, I think it's the only Pokemon that doesn't inherently have a weakness. Because we had Spiritomb and we had Sableye, and Ghost Dark types had no weaknesses for the longest time until they introduced Fairy. Well, unless you're using a specific move, a electric type that has Levitate, you can't hit it with a ground type move.
Can't hit it with a ground type move, yeah.
So unless you Mold Breaker it, I'd give it at least below average just because of its gimmick.
I can agree with you on that.
Now,
Elegim,
I think
Beahim.
I think Elgium, average. I like his design. I like he's a little UFO boy. He's a little space critter.
I'll give you below average.
Now,
or average. Sorry, I'll give you average.
Behem, not a fan.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, I found a shiny one, and that was another one of those mid reactions where it's just kind of like there it is.
So, Litwick. Litwick is in the, I would say, below average tier. Maybe just inside of be just at average.
I'll give you average. I'm a big fan of the little candle guy.
Yeah. Lampent. It's okay.
I'm gonna go below average for him. I'm not a fan of its evolution.
Chandelure is almost perfect and into God tier. The cool ghost chandelier is awesome. I like the candles. And also, and this is a fun fact, Chandelure was in Pokken.
Chandelure was in Pokken.
And that's an awesome thing. He is one of the few representatives for Pokken. I would put him in almost perfect. Not quite God tier, but getting there.
Fire Ghost is a type that is currently being overused. But as far as when it first came out...
When it came out, that was so cool.
Let me overhyped. I see where you're coming from, Pyro. I see where you're coming from. But let me
overhyped now.
Let me remind you all of VGC 2012, VGC 2013, and Black 2, White 2, when these little shit things called gems existed. And a fire gem boosted heat wave from a Chandelure would just roast the team.
Also, like I said, it made it into the Pokemon fighting game. That has to account for something, right?
And Conkeldurr, yes, Conkeldurr. I still call it Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr. All right, the fucking
but
pseudos that aren't pseudos.
Yeah, the pseudo Axew, Fracture, and Haraxis. Or Haxorus. They're Axew gets below average because I love anime Axew. The others just kind of exist.
Really?
Yeah, I have no attachment to them. I do
I
love Axew in the anime.
I think Haxorus is pretty good design wise. Like Fracture, I'm
It,
okay. Like it exists, but
I'll say
Haxorus design wise,
I'll give you below average on Haxorus. Maybe pretty good. Maybe average.
let's meet it. Let's
maybe
meet it average. Let's meet it average.
I'll give you that. I'll
Good
give you that.
design. It's his shiny is amazing, and they give you a free one in black 2, white 2 as long as you do the Pokedex. But it reminds me of Guyver.
Okay. All right. So because I've now seen the shiny one, it is pretty good.
Boom.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Guyver with its little side faces. How like Guyver had the blades coming out of the elbow.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
That's
it is.
what
It is
reminds
pretty
me
good.
of. Oh. Okay, Cubchoo. I
Dude,
don't
these
like its
Pokemon
snot.
exist.
I don't like its snot. It reminds me of those little shitty kids from the home island in the Wind Waker.
It does.
Like,
Honestly, both these Pokemon exist, man.
it's just
Like,
yeah. I agree. Beartic could have so much more design for it. Instead, it's got its hands curved in all weird and shit. But like Cubchoo, if it didn't have the snot, if it didn't have its snot, average. Pretty good design. Cryogonal.
Cryogonal.
Rest is met
Snowflake?
until go lit. I agree.
Yeah. Pretty meh. Pretty meh.
They exist.
Actually, I would actually make an argument that up until I would say Cryogonal, Shelmet, Excelgor, and Stunfisk are all exist. Up until then, we get to Mienfoo.
I am 100%. Stunfisk. I'm gonna say Garbo.
Yeah. Also, I hate Stunfisk.
I hate Stunfisk. I hate
Oh my God, I hate
Stunfisk.
Stunfisk so much.
Galarian Stunfisk. Hate him too.
Yeah.
Now
All right,
Mienfoo.
Mienfoo and Mienshao. They're both pretty good. I love me some fighting types, and these are some cool looking fighting types.
They are, and it's I like the the fighting style that they're going for.
Yeah, they're going for the kung fu kind of fighting style.
Yeah, like the Shaolin Kung Fu.
It's especially compared to what was the there was a psychic not was it Metacham? Like I have very mixed feelings on Metacham,
Yeah.
but I love Mienshao. I wish actually the only thing with Mienfoo and Mienshao, I wish they had another typing. Like I wish they weren't just pure fighting and they were like something else, but they're still cool pure fighting.
The monk sleeve fighting, yeah. They just
Yeah,
slap
that's
you with
what I
their
love.
clothes.
How do you pronounce that?
Drudagon.
Drudagon.
Or
okay.
Drudagon.
Drudagon, just big dragon. Big generic dragon. It's
I don't know.
big generic existence.
No, like not even exist, man. Like that thing, its head throws it off. Why it look like that?
Yeah, I'll give you Garbo.
Why does it look like that? I don't get it. Okay, these two.
I actually kind of like Golett.
These
Like,
two.
I kind of like Golett.
I believe both of them, design-wise, typing-wise, shiny-wise, I would argue both of these almost perfect.
I'll give you almost perfect.
And the fact that Golurt can fly,
Yeah,
Like-
that's kind of awesome.
that he can literally learn the move fly, because in the Victini movie, it like retracts its legs into its ass and shoots off with jets. Yeah,
Yeah,
with rocket legs.
I'll give you almost perfect for that.
Like that is a Pokemon I would have IRL. 1000%. Poniard, average. Bisharp,
Average, B sharp, almost perfect.
almost perfect. I 100% agree. We're starting to get into the fucking Pokemon that are just going to be like, oh yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, easy.
Bisharp's great. King Gambit, great. He's not on the list. Ugh. Afro Bull.
Yeah, dude, Garbo.
Bouffalon.
Garbo.
I don't know. To me, it exists. Like I don't hate its design, but I do forget it exists.
It's when I see it, I'm like, man, you're like less cool Taurus.
That's
Or
true.
Tauros.
You think of
your
bull
Garbo.
Pokemon, you think of Tauros. You don't think of
Dunk that-
Bouffant.
Dunk that buffalo in the garbage.
Rufflet.
It exists.
Braviary. America.
I like Braviary. It looks awesome.
So-
it is absolutely below average though.
Perfect.
For as much as I like it. For as much as I like it.
So I would
as much as I
argue
like-
average.
I can see average.
Simply from a competitive nature. Like when Sword and Shield came out and you had Dynamax. Dynamax Braviary was fucking...
Yeah, it was pretty good. I remember that.
hell
I
on
also will
wheels.
say, the fact that it's known as the Valiant Pokemon is kind of awesome. That's pretty dope.
All right, we've already had furry accusations, and now we're tossing the word valiant and awesome around in the same sentence.
It is. That's what it's called. It's called the Valiant Pokemon.
We're on watch, chat. We're on watch.
It is. Dude, it's literally the Valiant Pokemon. That's an awesome name.
It is. It's cool.
Like, I don't know. Okay. I dispute the furry accusations on that one at least. Zora and Zorak I'll give you.
Delphox.
That's fair. Delphox? Oh, come on. Like,
That is the... Okay, all right. We'll come back around.
yeah. Volbaby and Manabuzz, dude, they exist. They're dark. Okay. Below average because they're dark flying, and I like dark flying as a type.
I will say this is baby, and I like the
It is baby. It is baby.
This
is baby.
is like cranky ant.
Yeah.
Like this is giving me cranky ant vibes. Like she'll give you a sip of her beer.
Oh, you be quiet, Pyro. Look, you be quiet. Hush now.
There's something different. It's like you can sleep with your Finnegan in your bed, but once the Finnegan evolves, it ain't sleeping on the floor.
You think? Oh, you hush.
Oh.
Y'all both just be quiet.
I told Juan this earlier. This guy going in Garbo. He disagreed with me. What are your accusations on Heatmore?
I think Heatmore is. It's Garbo. Yeah, it's Garbo. It just doesn't look cool.
I like the
definitely
design. I like the design it's going for with its arch enemy Durant. It's a fire anteater. This thing's a steel bug ant, so obviously, like, it preys on it, right?
Yeah, but it's not steel in the gen that it's in.
Pyro, I'll give you they exist for him. I'll give you it exists. Now, Durant.
But Durant, dude. It's a steel ant. It's a steel ant.
I want to go for a more competitive nature. Hustle. At the beginning of Sword and Shield, same thing with Braviary, it had Hustle. Hustle reduces your accuracy but increases your attack. You Dynamax this thing. Dynamax moves can't miss, so it takes away all of the negative and keeps the positives.
So it made for really good sweepers.
Yes, hits like a truck.
That will win me over. I will give you average. As someone who likes sweeper teams, that will give me the average, or give it an average rank. Denio's it exists.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that.
Maybe at below average.
I'll give you below average. Zweilous. I
kind of like Xylus.
I do too. I like its stupid ass haircut.
I do. It's yeah, but I'll give it below average to maybe average.
I'm arguing God tier for Hydreigon.
No, man, almost perfect. It's not quite there. It's not quite there for me.
It's based on a tank. It's based on a fucking three-headed Hydra.
I know, but it just doesn't. Hydreigon doesn't hit for me like a lot of other people. In fact, actually, looking at this, there might not be one that crosses into God tier anymore. Looking at these, well, there's one that might.
There's one other Pokemon I'm going to argue for God tier.
And I have a feeling I know. I have a feeling I know which one because it's the one that a lot of people argue for. I have a feeling.
Understandable.
Larvesta.
I enjoy Larvesta. The only thing I hate about Larvesta is the fact that it has to be level 59 before it evolves.
Yeah, I would say it's below average do they exist.
I'll give it below average. I like its design.
Yeah, I like its design. All right. I'm pretty sure I know what you're about to say, so say it.
Almost perfect.
Really? I thought you would have said God tier.
It's really, really good. And it almost makes it for me. I wish it had a higher speed stat. It is the only thing.
I'll be real, man. I think Volcarona is like just average. It's a fire moth.
But it's a
That's
fire
kinda cool.
bug.
It's a fire bug. I'm like, yeah. It does quiver dance is cool, but
Yes, you can quiver dance. Let's give it pretty good, I guess.
I'll concede pretty good.
That's true, Pyro. And like I still have a Volcarona from Gen 5. I call it Old Faithful. It hatches all my eggs in the current gen.
To me, you gotta get near Hydreigon. Volcarona does not get near Hydreigon.
Almost perfect in the lease.
Yeah. In the lease, you gotta make it past Hydreigon.
I will argue that Volcarona will be first place pretty good.
Yeah, I could make that argument. I could give you that. First place pretty good for Volcarona.
Cobalion.
It's okay. If I remember, this is one of this and this Terracron and are they part of the Three Musketeers stuff?
Yes.
That Keldio's a part of?
Yes,
Okay.
they are the Musketeers, the Swords of Justice.
Yeah. This one is probably, I'm assuming, it might not be based on D'Artagnan. I think they all exist, except which I'll say for one that's kind of cool. But I think they all exist, maybe below average.
Good night, Pyro. Appreciate you coming and hanging out, buddy. I'll give below average. This is what my ranking would be.
Actually, Virizion looks the coolest to me.
Really? I do not care about her. I feel like she just exists. Terrakion, I would argue pretty good, almost perfect.
Dude, it's like a ram.
It is, but it's a rock fighting type, which is a phenomenal typing.
That is a pretty good typing.
And there was that strategy back in the day. You'd get a Pokemon that knows beat up, Whimsicott, the Terracott strategy. Whimsicott would beat up because its attack stat is garbage, right? It would use beat up on its own Terrakion. Beat up hits one time for every Pokemon in your party. VGC's 4 Pokemon, so it would punch Terrakion 4 times. Terrakion's ability is justified. When it's hit with a dark type attack, its attack stat increases by 1 stage. Whimsicott go first, punch Terrakion, do absolute minimal damage, it gets +4 attack, sweeps.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, now we're getting into the Pokemon that people hate.
Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus. I think Tornadus is kind of cool because it's like one of the Japanese folklore myths. Like a freaking what's it called? Not Jin. Oh man.
That's the genies.
Right,
That's what they call
Raijin, like, yeah. I thought it was based on like Fujin and Raijin.
Yeah.
It exists. They all just exist.
So competitive wise, I'll argue that it's at least average. Because Tornadus is a force to be reckoned with in BGC currently.
Yeah, I remember hearing about Tornadus.
Now, Bird, I agree. It exists. Like, that version of it. Thundurus, same thing for me. Average, really good VGC back in the day. This thing just exists.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Now, the box art.
Zekrom, Reshiram, and Kyurem. I think they're all pretty good. They're all pretty cool looking legendaries. I especially like the story with Reshiram and Zekrom and N. That's a big deal for me. Their
story does it. Like, I like Zekrom better than I like Reshiram, so I'll put him.
Yeah.
Here. Somewhere.
There's one more I'm gonna argue for God tier. I want to see if you can guess which one. But I might say it's an almost perfect or pretty good. But we'll get there.
It's Meloetta, ain't it?
No, it's not Melodota. You have 3 choices. It's not Melodota, so you have 2.
God. All right, I'll see if I can guess it before we get there.
Okay.
Landorus incarnate form.
Landorus. I mean, I don't know anything about the incarnate stuff. I'll be honest.
Incarnate is this one. This one's Therian. Just different abilities.
I think they exist. I'll be honest.
So,
I think they exist. I think all the Doris Pokemon exist. They're. Oh, you know what? I'll give you below average.
This one is my pick for God tier. Therian Landorus.
What's your reasoning?
The most feared Pokemon in competitive battling. Banned from singles. Fucking in VGC for several years, you had to have a check for Landorus on your team. Design-wise, it looks really good. It's walking on clouds basically walking on clouds so it can fly. It's got Intimidate, which is really good. I really enjoy everything about its design except for its hair. It's like a tiger.
See, my biggest problem is I hate the weird bone hair. So it's got to be it's pretty good, but I'll give you almost perfect.
Okay. I like that Pokemon is a Pokemon until Incineroar came out. Competitively, you had to have a check for Landorus on your team, or you were losing. I don't think you choose Kyurem as your God tier.
No. I don't choose Kyurem as my God tier. No. Actually, you probably will be like, oh, you didn't choose this one, but I chose the other one. I think Kyurem's cool. It's pretty good. I think all of the black and white dragons are all pretty good.
Okay. I agree. They had a pretty solid round. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They were pretty good. They had a pretty solid group of legendaries when it came to that trio. I do think Reshiram White comes a little bit before Reshiram Black in designs.
I agree.
Coolness, but
I agree with you.
Without trying to fucking figure out how this tier list thing goes, we're just going to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, in all honesty.
The fourth Sword of Justice, Keldeo.
Yep, Keldeo. I think Keldeo is pretty good to average.
It's Meloetta, ain't it? Is that your God pick? The accusations keep coming. Pretty good, Keldeo. Pretty good. Oh no, I'm losing him again. I was sitting here thinking he couldn't defend himself, but it's just internet is going bad. Can you hear me, Chaos? I do not want to finish this tier list by myself, but I will. Alright, we lost him again, chat. Alright, so the best part about it is he still didn't know that we swapped over Conkeldurr. So now all we got to do is figure out how to get Scrafty higher up on the list. Good. Anything else the Landorus, man. The Landorus has got to be in God tier. Do we have no God tiers? In Unova? This really is my most hated region. This really is the region I hate the most. Okay. I'm sure he would... I don't think he would choose Meloetta for God tier. I don't think he would. This doesn't make logical sense to me. Genesect, he'd probably choose for God tier. I like the shiny and everything, but I don't think it's God tier material. To me, it's even though it's a legendary. Welcome back.
That died again, dude. I don't know what's going on.
You're good. I waited for you.
I think Keldeo is fine. It's fine. To pretty good.
Okay.
I think it's average.
Okay, we'll swap him back to average then.
Yeah, but the one I think is actually God tier is in fact Genesect.
I see. I was having a discussion with Chad on why I thought it might be Genesect. So, it's pretty good typing, Bug Steel, right? I like the fact that it can change its typing with its plates or its Technoblast attack with its typing. I think Scizor does it better.
It does. But I think it comes down to, I find Genesect, so the first kind of man-made Pokemon was Mewtwo, right? I think,
Or Porygon, it's debatable.
yeah, or Porygon. I think Genesect looks even more kind of in an unsettling science experiment.
I will give you, on lore alone, we can have a God tier Pokemon.
Yeah. I think on lore alone, I think it has a pretty solid movie, if I could. Like,
Yeah,
well, yeah.
5 Genesects and a shiny, or 5 Genesects. The leader is a red Genesect, and they're hunting down Mewtwo.
Yes.
I'll give you God tier for Genesect. I'll give you God tier. I wasn't thinking about the anime part of it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that make Genesect just so interesting. Design-wise, lore-wise, typing-wise. What is it? Bug Psychic, I think?
Bug Steel.
Bug Steel. See, I like that typing, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like, it has so many things. And I think it's an interesting legendary, because it's what? Outside of Mewtwo, the only man-made legendary?
Yeah, and it's a fossil.
Yeah.
So it is a resurrected fossil of an unknown Pokemon that was giving a fucking laser on its back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you. We'll go God tier.
So yeah, there we go. There is the definitive list of.
Well, hold on. We still got this crap.
Which one are those? Oh, Melota?
Yeah.
Dude, they exist.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I forgot it existed until they were like, "Hey, you want a shiny one?" And I was like, "Ah."
Yeah, Melota exists. And with that, that is the definitive Gen 5 ranking, or tier list ranking for Pokemon.
That took us almost 2.5 hours.
It took a little bit. Again, I have some opinions. I think this is overall a very solid list. I think, Zora and Zoroark need to be higher, but that's a whole other debate to have. I like the list, actually, very much. I think it's very good in all seriousness. I think there's some ones maybe that I'm like, I'm not quite sure about, and there's definitely like some ones I would probably rank lower, but with talking with you about them, you convinced me. You definitely got me on some ones that I was like, I'm surprised I put them this high.
Good, I appreciate it. As long as you don't figure out the ones I swapped when you weren't paying attention, we should be good.
What did you swap?
Don't worry about it. That chat's our definitive ranking for
What did you swap?
Generation.
What did you swap, you son of a... Let me see here. I'm trying to find it. Okay, as long as nothing made... Wait. Did you get Lander? No. I don't know what you put. Yeah, I don't actually know what you swapped. Damn it.
Either way.
Oh well, that's a pretty good list though. I'll be fine with that. Besides, Zora and Zoroark are near the top, so I'm happy.
There we go.
I got my top four. Four.
Your top, hell yeah. All right. I guess we're caught there. I don't normally stream on Wednesdays, so it was nice to have kind of like a chill stream.
This is a really fun stream. I would love to do a Gen 2 tier list because I got some, like, I'm not that knowledgeable in Gen 5. Gen 2, I have a lot of attachment towards. Gen 2 is my favorite gen. So if you ever do a Gen 2 one, though I'll be here for all of these, because I like to actually discussing Pokemon stuff. But Gen 2, there's some ones I will fight for.
Hell yeah.
Like Totodile is God tier, and no, I will not take further questions on that.
We might do this on Wednesdays for a while, like the next few
That'd be
Wednesdays.
Cool.
Just to do some...
That'd be cool, like
chill tier list. Yeah.
Honestly, another tier list I would really love to do. It's not necessarily Pokemon related. I would really love to do like maybe like a certain anime tier list, but I have to think about it. Like I don't know. That'd be a tough one. Cause like,
there you got it. There you go, chat. Tuesdays and Thursdays we platinum hunt, or we hunt for platinum trophies, and on Wednesdays we just do tier list discussions.
Yeah, we just do just tier lists and just general talking. This was really great though, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. And no, I am not a furry because I put Zora and Zoroark in God tier.
It's not that. It's the fact that you still think Delphox is the best fire starter. That's what puts you on the furry watch list.
Dude, it is though, man. Fire Psychic.
Infernape is right there.
Infernape sucks, dude. And besides, ahead of or behind, just behind is like Typhlosion. Well, or Quilava. Well, yeah, Typhlosion specifically.
You know, there's some
But I love
unsavory things
Quilava,
about Typhlosion that came out recently, right?
Yes, I know. Typhlosion is an awful thing now. I know, but it's a giant ferret, man.
That's
It's a big old tube sock Pokemon. I love it.
tube socks have bad images too.
I know they do.
People jerk off in those. You're not helping yourself.
But it's a giant tube, and I love it. And it's a ferret, and I like ferrets. I'm a simple man.
That's fair.
And also, Quilava has Fire Wheel, and that's dope.
All right, watch your ears.
I'm sure.
Not yours necessarily. Yeah, I was putting the stream as ending thing on there, and it blasts in-stream music. Yes, do that, because I'm going to do mine after that. Don't really want to do that, do you, bud? Boo. Yeah, so I dropped a link in chat right there for Chaos. Go give him a follow. Yeah. And I do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me tonight on one of my off-stream days. We'll be back at normal time, like 11 p.m. tomorrow. Be doing some, I guess tonight, technically. Be wrapping up, not even wrapping up. We're going to be attempting to wrap up God of War 2018 with our Platinum run. I did find 2 trophies off stream today. I did record that for the eventual YouTube video, so make sure you guys tune in for that announcement. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Chaos, as always, buddy. It's been lovely having you here. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Copy that. Hey, Chaos, I'm going to remind you guys that he starts around 5 p.m., ends around 11. So 5 to 6 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in there. Give him a follow, hit that little notification button. That way you can know when we both go live. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow.